And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. How does a brand new car sound for the new year? Many say the end of December is the best time to go out and get a new car. But is that realistic? I asked Carl Brower of IC Cars for the advice you need when you go shopping.
Yeah, the old wives' tale about buying a car on the last day of the year is also accurate and true. You have a lot better chance of finding a good deal on a used car. The best chance of all the 365 days of the year on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Those 2 days came in at basically a tie. I think because they're often treated the same for sales purposes. But think of all the factors that are going on at that point in time, right? You've got holidays, which usually has people distracted. They're traveling, they're hanging out with family, and maybe they've spent a bunch of money on gifts and they don't have a lot of money to spend on a car. You've got cold weather. People don't want to go to the dealership and deal with that on cold weather days on a lot of part of the country. And you've got dealers and manufacturers who are trying to make their numbers, as they say. The numbers not just for the end of the month, but the numbers for the end of the calendar year. All those factors come together and people are able to find a better deal because of that. The dealers and the manufacturers really want to move the metal, and it's hard to get people to come onto the lot because they're distracted with other things and the weather at that point in time.
And what kind of deals should you look for? Should you look for maybe 10% off, 5% off, a few $100s, a few $1,000s?
It's a great
What
question.
should you expect? Not the world, I'm sure.
No, it's a great question because what we used to define a good deal in our study and our data crunching was 5% or more below the average cost of a used car, which translates to about $1,300. So if you can get a good deal, you're getting a deal on a vehicle that's at least 5% below the normal price. And those percentages, the chance of getting that much of off or more goes up throughout the winter months. It really starts around November 1st and lasts through the end of February. And then it flips. And from, say, April 1st to like October or September, it's not nearly as likely because it's warm. All the models are out. A lot of people come in with their tax returns in the spring, and a lot of times they spend that on cars. So demand for cars goes up. And that's really what we're talking about here is just the drop in general used car demand during the winter months and the rise in used car demand during the spring and summer and into the fall months. And you really benefit if you want to find a good deal when you're doing it at a time that most people aren't looking for cars in the winter.
Now, tell me, how hard should you push if they're not giving you the discount you want? Uh, and what I did, I recently bought a truck, and what I did, it's horrible. But it was two Buick dealerships, and both had the truck, the same truck. But one truck, it was at one location, and I went there, and the guy wouldn't budge. So I went to the
Mhm.
other location, and the guy gave me the world. One salesman wouldn't budge. The other guy gave me the deal that I wanted, my deal of the century.
Yeah.
How hardball should it be for you to get? Should you play hardball to get that deal you want, or walk away and see what happens?
You should always play hardball because the truth is consumers don't realize how much power they've got. When a dealer understands that you are about to spend tens of thousands of dollars on a vehicle, and you're either going to spend it at their dealership or another dealership, it literally kills them to think that you're going to spend it at another dealership. So if you can get multiple dealers and have multiple options for cars, and then any one of those dealers you talk to about, serious prices and serious savings, and they don't work with you, you tell them, then I'm going to this dealer because I think he might work with me. And it drives them nuts to think that you're going to walk out the door and pay another dealer tens of thousands of dollars instead of that dealer. And consumers should play that to their max and only increase that during winter months or on New Year's Eve. They should do that even more aggressively then. But you should always have a sense of what the car's value is. Use the internet. It's very easy to go online and figure out what the market value is, and then go to multiple dealers until you find one and play them against each other. Play those dealers again. They're always giving you the whole, I got a guy coming in this afternoon trying to make you scared and feeling like you got to buy now. Flip it on them and say, yeah, well, I got two other dealers. I might go buy it from them instead.
You have to play their game. Absolutely. With Carl Brower with IC Cars. Thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored for this valuable information. I should have talked to you, but I ended up getting a good deal. So
You
I
knew
had
what
to
to do.
just.
You had it.